उमापति महादेव की जय। It's a branch of the presence of God. We seek the blessings of Maria Revolution, Sri Bhagavan Krishna this morning. Let the capture hands and close our eyes and pray in the hands of Bhagavan Krishna, who is also known as Arima Pitra. During this time of Pitru Paksh, we seek the blessings of Bhagavan Krishna in the form of Arima Pitra, as the premiers of Bhagavan the Lord. Show blessings upon all of our ancestors. O dearly beloved mother and father, parents or grandparents who have passed away from this world. We pray and ask your blessings upon them, O Lord, so that they too will not be in the want of food and clothes and shelter and comforts. During this time of Pitru Paksh, we offer Tilanjali in the name of the departed. So we pray and ask of Bhagavan Krishna, Lord, accept these offerings and to share blessings. Let our parents, our departed parents, and our friends and our relatives be able to find comfort, be able to find peace and happiness. Just as we would like happiness and peace and love and devotion for ourselves, O Lord, in Bhagavan. You already know of all our hearts, O Lord. And today we beg and we beseech of you, O Lord, to shower blessings upon them, to give them whatever shortcomings have been committed in their life. As we can offer a word of prayer, and we are comforted by your word, you will take care of them. Let's all join in prayer. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakote Samprabha Nirvighanam Kuruvete Sarvakareshu Sarvada Jnana Dehi Smriti Dehi Vidya Vidyati Devate Pratishtam Kavidam De Saraswati Namo Namaha. Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Nagendra Haraya Trilochanaya Bhashmangaradhaya Maheshwaraya Nityaya Shukhaya Digambaraya Tasmai Nakaraya Namah Shivaya. Neelam Bhujam Shamala Komalangam Sita Samaropitu Vamadharam Panu Mahasaya Kacharu Chapam Namami Ramam Prabhuvam Sanatham Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadaguru Atulit Balathamam Swarna Shailabhadeham Dhanujavan Kishanam Jnana Madhuranyam सकल गुण निधान मान रानामधीशम रघुपति प्रिय भद्रवात जातम अनाथ निधनो देव शंखचक्र गदाधरम आपरो पुंडरीकाक्षम प्रीतमोक्ष प्रलोभव इंद्रावंद हरलाल की जय वामन महादेव की जय. That even a stranger can offer Shraddha and Tilanjali to an ancestor or a Pitra, and yet they will receive it. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Radha Ramana Hari Hari Bol. we speak about, we continue along that narration of chapter 12 of Bhagavad Gita. And to briefly recap, it is a conversation between Bhagavan Krishna and Arjuna, where Arjuna would pose questions to Bhagavan. Very lovingly and humbly he says that the Lord of these two types of devotees, those who worship the personal and the impersonal form, which one do you consider to be the better one? And so Bhagavan Krishna went on to narrate as to how worship of the form, the personal form of Bhagavan, it's very easy. It's compared to sadhana that would be, sacrifices that would be made, has to be made for the worship of the unmanifested form. And there we have this shloka, chapter 12, verse shloka. Sreyo hi jnanabhyasat jnanadhyanam vishishyate dhyanat karma phalatyaga tyaga chantirantaram. And so Bhagavan Krishna, he says to Arjuna that, oh Arjuna, sadhana, as we know, is worship Bhagavan. We do puja and so on. Devotional exercise, devotional practice, severe practice, service to Bhagavan. And as I said, Abhyasa Yoga, Bhagavan speaks about that yoga of practice. So better than sadhana, better than devotional service and practice is the attainment of jnana. For such knowledge brings you to that point where you can be able to sit and contemplate, to sit and meditate. So it brings about, constant practice brings about jnana and knowledge. It brings about dhyana, that ability to sit in oneness of Bhagavan, to meditate upon the Lord. And when you get accustomed in dhyana, when you get accustomed doing devotion and meditation to Bhagavan, let's say for the day you start your day at 4 o'clock in the morning, and you sit for 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 1 minute, and you focus upon Bhagavan. You think about Bhagavan, you think about the greatness of Bhagavan, you think of all the things that He is doing in this world. If we have the opportunity to be God for one day, what would we do? Who would you see about? Who would you cure? Who you would heal? Who you would provide food for? Who you would shelter? Who you would give a job? Whose interview you're going to pass? Everybody prays to God of some different problem. So Bhagavan says if you get that opportunity to reach to that point of dhyana, that leads to incessant contemplation upon me. It gives you that ability to think about God, not just sitting in dhyana, but to think of Bhagavan all the time. To be able to have Bhagavan in your mind at all times. Everything that you do, you think about God. The reaction that you perform, you offer it to God. And to be able to remember Bhagavan all the time. This way it starts, a little bit of practice. Practice brings about a little bit of satsang and so on. You get real knowledge. Then you start to practice this knowledge, you practice the ability to perform worship to Bhagavan, dhyana comes, remembrance comes, you keep Him in your mind. Right? So as soon as you reach that point where you can think of Bhagavan constantly and think of God all the time, then what happens? You stop thinking about the rewards of your actions. How much times do people say, well, don't worry, God will provide. Yeah? God will provide. God always provides. And then you do something. Previously you would have told yourself, well, When I'm doing this, I will reap this reward and I will reap this the next reward and I will benefit in this way. But then that awareness of Bhagwan takes over. And it does the same karma and not think of the reward. You might be helping somebody. The first day you go, they might give you a little change. Helping a child and you might get some benefit out of it. But then you continue to help the child and then that aspect of reward is no longer. So it says that if you reach to that point of constant remembrance of Bhagwan, you abandon all the fruits of all action. And you leave it upon Bhagwan to compensate and to reward you. What are the rewards that you will gain by allowing your actions to be dedicated to Bhagwan? What are the rewards? I am saying that leave all the actions, do the actions and leave the rewards for Bhagwan to dispense. But what are some of the actions or the rewards that we benefit from Bhagwan? When it says that when we die, we all want to go to heaven. That's all. That's a reward. By karma, it puts you in that position for a hereafter. And a good hereafter, or a better hereafter. And in terms of hereafter, this Pitru Paksh time, Adhima Pitru plays a very important role. And we talk about karma at this point in time of Pitru Paksh. We ensure that we offer Tilanjali for the ancestors. And in doing so, we are all paving our pathway to reap good rewards. We are paving our pathway so that we all can be able to benefit from these actions in such a way that the rewards given by Bhagwan will of course ensure happiness here and in the hereafter. All the delights of heaven and rebirth, all of these things, we think to be born in a good home, for us to be able, this few of us here in temple this morning, it is not just by mistake we hear it. Whether you sing or you're backup singer, we all hear by Bhagwan's grace. And these are some of the rewards that we all gain by performing action and not looking towards the rewards of these actions. So Bhagwan Krishna says that listen, worship, prayer, meditate, dhyanam, remembrance, mananam, and then that consciousness of Bhagwan will always be with you. To remember God at all times. When you do that, then you become peaceful, you become happy, you become contented, santoshed stepping. When you have contentment, you have everything. Prem se bolo Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai.